Hi, welcome to our Hibernate tutorial. In this video session, let us look into the interceptor. Interceptor is a feature provided by the Hibernate. It gives us a closer look into the Hibernate execution of database calls. Sometimes we may expect our own customized behavior from the persistence layer, which is not associated within our application. If you see, Hibernate is in our application, and we are making a call to the database from the Hibernate. It is just a normal database call. By means of interceptor, we can get our customized code invoked as the persistence logic is being executed. Uses of interceptor. In some cases, the customer may need to maintain a history of all the transactions, including all the inserts and updates happened to the database. In some financial firms, often needs to maintain auditing records to avoid frauds, and adding some mandatory customized behaviors to be performed immediately before or after a database transaction. Interceptors is the best solution in such cases. Auto dirty checking is another feature provided by the Hibernate. By means of this, if any object is updated but not saved, then Hibernate takes care of persisting the dirty object. That means the object which have been updated. Hibernate uses to do it by its own without having any interference by the application. By means of find dirty method provided by the interceptor, we can make it sure. First, let us see what is auto dirty checking feature. In our database table worker, we have these three records. ID 3 has the name Deepthi and salary, worker info. Well, we are going to update this. We are loading that record which has ID 3, and we are changing the name and the salary, of course, but we are not saving the changes. We are not updating this. We are just committing this into the database and just we are closing the session. That's all we are doing. We are not saving, we are not updating here. Let's run this. Even though we did not update and we did not save this, Hibernate ran the update statement and updated the changes. So this is what we call it, auto dirty checking. If you see the database, the name has been changed to Ramu. So by means of interceptor, we can ensure that if the object is dirty. In our application, we can introduce interceptors at two levels: session level and application or global level or session factory level. Session factory level interceptors must be thread safe to make it sure not to store any session specific state, while multiple sessions will concurrently use the same interceptor. If you see here, we have an interface called interceptor which has all these methods. This is a few. We have number of methods in here, and we have a class empty interceptor. It is an implemented class for this interceptor interface. So it will override all the methods in here. To create our own interceptor, we can either implement the interceptor interface or we can extend the implemented class empty interceptor. It is suggested to extend the empty interceptor class and override only the necessary methods. Let us see how we can do it programmatically. This is our interceptor class. We have created this by extending empty interceptor, which is an implemented class, and we have overwritten all the methods. If you see, these are the methods provided, and we have override all the methods. And we are testing this. In our test class, we have 3 worker objects. We have given the details: ID, name, salary, and also information: ID, age, insured, sex, and worker information. We are setting the worker information for the workers, and we are saving all these 3 worker objects. Here I have created 2 methods, update worker and delete worker, in which I am updating a worker object, and also in here I am deleting a worker object. So in update worker, by using the query, we are getting the record which has the name, old name. We are getting the record here, and we are iterating, and we are changing the name to the new name which have been provided to the method, and we are committing the changes to the database. If we got any Hibernate exception, we are just rolling back our changes, and finally we are closing the session. Likewise, in the delete worker method, by using this query, we are deleting the record which has the ID provided to this method, and we are getting the record which has the ID, and we are just deleting it, and we are committing the changes into the database table. And finally we are closing the session. So this is what we are doing in our test class. Let's run it. See, all the statements, all the print statements have been printed in the console. After transaction begin, if you see the methods, this method is called after a database transaction begins. This method is called after a database transaction is completed. This method is called just before a database transaction is completed. And this method is called when a persistence class is instantiated. This one is called when a persistence object is deleted. This one is called when persistence object is updated. It will be called when a persistence object is created, when persistence object gets initialized. Before and after committing changes to the database, these methods pre-flush and post-flush will be called. This method is called when the object is dirty. So it returns an array of properties if object is dirty, or it returns an empty array if object is not dirty. So all these methods we have in our empty interceptor class, implemented class. So this is how we have got all this in here, all the print statements. After transaction begin, so this is after transaction has started executing. In here, on save worker object have been created. First, second, third, 3 worker objects, and we are setting the properties for the 3 objects. Properties, number of properties is 3. So this is how we have got executing the update worker. We are updating the worker object. See, we're here we are getting the record and we are updating it. Likewise, the delete worker method is. So this is it. This is how we can make the use of interceptor in Hibernate. Thanks for watching.